Hello and welcome to another World of Warplanes video with me, Sir 10 Death. Apologies that it's been a few days since my last one. There's been a few things going on in my life, family things, and of course major weather related problems up in the part of the world where I live, which has affected my ability to do one or two videos. But I'm back in the saddle now, and today we're having a look at this one. It's the A6M2 Zero, the Japanese Tier 5 fighter. One of two Japanese Tier 5 fighters. There is also the KI-43-2, which I'll review in a different video on a different day. As ever, I'm going to be showing you some gameplay footage featuring myself and a clanmate of mine, Dillis, from our BBMM. That's the Beer Bellied Masterminds, and we're going to be playing together here on this Archipelago Decisive Blow map. And this footage was actually recorded a couple of weeks ago, I should say, because the current event that's going on is active right now, and I actually have played one game of it, but I haven't had a chance to record any footage of the new thing just yet. So let's have a chat about the stats for this plane as we play it. We'll talk about what it does particularly well, what it maybe lacks at a little bit, and make some comparisons against other possible tech-free planes and premium planes of the same tier. So we are we're doing okay here. We're going to set off and get this game underway. Go to work testing the plane out. First thing you'll notice is that maneuverability. It turns on a sixpence, this thing, which is fairly synonymous of most Japanese fighters. That's what the Japanese fighters are very renowned for, is not their heavy armament or their heavy armour, should I say, but their ability to turn and dodge like nobody's business. So I'm just going to go to work here and just test this out a little bit, see how we do. And having no problem at all getting on the tail of somebody who's trying to outturn me. It's just basically there's very few things that can outturn a Japanese fighter in the game, and it's quite good fun to get on the tail of somebody and go to work. So let's talk about the plane then. When you get the plane, it's got 170 hit points, which is a little bit lower than some others at tier 5. Some others have around 200 or even 220, but so it's a little bit on the lower side, but not desperately bad. When you upgrade the airframe, that will become 180, which is a little bit better, helps a little bit. Maneuverability, the thing I was just talking about. Stock plane has a maneuverability rating of 92, which is phenomenally good, and when upgraded it becomes 94, which is just fantastic. So this thing can turn and dodge and weave fantastically well, and it can outturn the majority of things within its tier without any real problem. That gives it a turn time of only 8 seconds, upgradable to 7.9 seconds. When you bear in mind that a lot of planes have 10 or 11 second turn times, this is significantly faster. Now you'll have noticed though, the one drawback of this plane, it is extremely lightly armoured. So once somebody decides they like you, which somebody just has with me, that's what happens. You get knocked out of the game quite easily. So if you can weave and bob and dodge and keep out of the way, yeah, it's doing okay, but as soon as somebody takes a liking to you and has some cannons that can put some damage out, then the likelihood is they are probably going to do you some harm. Its optimum altitude is about 800 meters, that's where it fights best, but I like to test these planes above that and below that to see how they perform. And I'm just going to get back into the battle here as best I can. Speed wise, it's fairly average. It does about 260 kilometers per minute standard, and when you upgrade the engine that becomes about 270, so it's okay. Let's talk about the guns now then. The guns are a bit of a strange mixed bag on this. It has two 7.7mm auto guns, which is would be terrible at tier 5 if it wasn't for the fact they're supported by, even as stock, two 20mm wing mounted cannons. So that stock plane actually has got the ability to cause massive damage really quite well. The 20mm cannons are upgradable to two different 20mm cannons that have a bit better dispersion values and a bit better damage output, so they're upgradable. And you see, as soon as that P40 turned around and decided to come my way, I decided just to weave and bob and get out of dodge, and then I can try and get back up the hill and do some damage there. So yeah, it's okay, it's not a bad plane. I'm going up here because actually the bombers are quite low down. They're only about 1200 meters, so I decided to try and get into trouble. Somebody got on my tail, so I'm getting into a turning contest. And I'm very confident I'll turn this guy as best I possibly can, except for the problem of losing some engine power, and that's going to cost me dearly, and he's rammed me in the end. Unfortunately, he's rammed me, that fairy phantom has rammed me. So I just cut to the next part of the game. It's not a spectacularly good game so far. The team are winning comfortably. I've had minimal involvement at this stage so far, but I've always said in my videos it's about showing what planes can and can't do, so you get a feel for them yourself. you've seen twice now that when somebody has taken a liking to shooting me, they have no real problem knocking this out of the sky. And I can speak from experience that when I've been using some other planes, I have had no problems taking down Zeros quite easily. If somebody's looking the other way, if they're busy turning or banking around, I can take them down quite easily, quite quickly. So let's make some comparisons then. Well, I mean, there's quite a few planes around, quite a few fighters around at tier 5. I would be inclined to say this is not a terrible plane, it's not a bad plane at all, but if I'm completely truthful, I would say it is sadly lacking compared to some others, particularly the P40 Warhawk, which I will put a link to in the video right now, which I personally think is a spectacularly good tier 5 fighter. Also the Spitfire 1, which is also a very good, well balanced fighter and is well liked by the majority of the Warplanes community. I would say that both of those are better planes, if I'm completely honest. Also, should you be wanting to maybe look at other better options from premium planes, I shouldn't really compare tech tree against premium, but it's worth noting that I would also be inclined to say things like the CAC Boomerang or the Arsenal Delane 10C2 are both also better planes than this. This is just my opinion. I would say this is better than one or two others. I personally think it's better than the Heinkel HE112, but again, that's just an opinion. And there are one or two that I actually haven't got yet. I haven't got the Lag 3, the one of Russian one, so I can't comment on every possible fighter in the game, but in the game, sorry. Yeah, it's not a bad plane, it's okay, and I am reliably informed by some friends of mine who've gone further into this game than I have, that some of the higher tier Japanese fighters are very excellent. So it is possibly worth grinding beyond this and going up to tier 7, 8 and so on. As ever, just an opinion, this game's winding to a close now. It's not been an amazing game. I've done reasonably well. You know, not phenomenally so, but I've done okay. It's not particularly terrible. 6,500 combat points. Normally I would be disappointed with that, but it's a test video. It's trying out the kids so other people can see how it does. Just past 7,000 there. Normally I'd like to think that if you pass 10,000 combat points, you have a pretty good game. If you push on towards 15,000, it's pretty much an excellent game. So I'm a bit disappointed that I haven't gotten nearer to that yet, and the score line's coming down. The game is very much almost done, so I'm just trying to just get the last bit of damage on. That's the end of the game there now. How do we do overall? Well, 8,250 combat points is okay. These are standard awards, only a class 5 fighter. I finished first on the team, and credit wise it pulled in just shy of 60,000 credits, which is okay for a tech tree plane, and Dillis actually outscored me in terms of his combat points as well, which is not surprising. He's a pretty effective player, and he's played many good games. Hopefully this video has given you a feel for the A6M2 Zero and lets you decide whether it's a line you might want to grind or not. It's got some decent guns, it's got excellent maneuverability, but it gets shot down quite easily. Make the judgment for yourself. As ever, thanks for watching. Cheers now. Goodbye.